Hello, my name is Edgar Quenta. I am the head of the Stomatology Simulation Center at the University of Peru. My role is to direct the Simulation Center, both academically and administratively, so that we can obtain tools that help us to better develop our teaching through simulation. The Simulation Center has tactical, virtual reality simulators that provide exercises that can be implemented from the first year of a degree course through to the last. It can also be used at a postgraduate, master's and doctoral level for research purposes. The virtual reality equipment that we have has quite a wide range and allows us to design basic simulation exercises, even for students who have not yet taken anatomy, because it is aimed at students acquiring manual skills and abilities. Working in a patient's mouth is like doing a form of laparoscopy for the teacher, because otherwise the teacher would have to be in the patient's mouth in order to give the feedback or debriefing that is needed. The equipment in the Simulation Center allows us to watch what is happening in the simulators in real time and see what the student is doing inside the patient's mouth. We couldn't do this in the clinic, as we would have to ask the student to leave the work area so that we can access the patient's intraoral space. So, we have a system in the debriefing room that is connected to the simulators so that we can see in real time what the student is doing in the patient's mouth, using the virtual simulator. It helps us to implement strategies that allow us to integrate up to 3 or 4 videos. The first video is what the student is doing in the patient's mouth. This comes from the simulator, obviously, and in real time. Secondly, we have the objective evaluation, which also comes from the simulator. That is to say, how the student is really doing, the mistakes they make, and what they're doing well. So, the teacher has simultaneous 3D visibility of what is happening intraorally regarding ergonomics and biosafety. This is reported by the cameras that give us a student's perspective in terms of ergonomics and biosafety. So the teacher has to see all 3 cameras simultaneously. What Codimg allows us to do is integrate these 3 video feeds together with a checklist or rubric that allows us to do the evaluation in real time. This pretty much automates the evaluation process, as well as the feedback and debriefing process. After the simulation session, which generally does not take more than an hour for virtual simulation, for the teacher to be able to link these 3 evaluations and feedback tools is complex. So, it helps us to have a system such as Codimg which integrates all these sources of data together. Codimg allows us to easily divide the videos into smaller clips using a digital checklist. This provides evidence of the student's performance over the course of an hour of simulation. Usually, evaluating an hour of video is complex, but if the teacher can simplify the process by using Codimg, cutting the evidence down to minutes rather than a full hour, it is easier. It can show us the key points where the student is achieving the objectives of the session. So, this is very important for us. We can transform a 1-hour video into a series of 15 to 20-second clips that we can evaluate more easily. It's good for research purposes, academic purposes, and it allows us to give the student better feedback in a debriefing.